Studio J in Atlanta, we never close. It's Inside the NBA presented by Kia. Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. Great night. Doubleheader action here on TNT, and it all continues tomorrow night. 3 games. You're going to have the clicker because we got them on TNT and NBA TV.
Wow.
You got the Celtics and the Cavs, and then the Mavs and the Rockets on TNT. Wizards and Raptors playing game 2 of that series. The only road team to win so far, the Wiz. And that game, 8 o'clock on NBA TV. How about this one, Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors trying to take a 2-0 lead over Anthony Davis and the Pelicans. And so where does this, obviously it has us in a 2-0 series, but how do you see it? And how would you assess the way New Orleans played the first 2 games, Chuck?
I was impressed. They wasn't afraid. I thought they kind of got slapped in the face the first game, but tonight was more, Steve said it, more of an indicative of a playoff type game. And I think, you know, people think I dislike the Golden State Warriors, which is totally wrong. I just think they are, and I've never called them soft. They're a jump shooting team. I think you can punish them down low and kill them on the offensive boards. And people always disagree when I say you don't live by jumpers, you die by jumpers. And listen, they got the best backcourt in the NBA. But I think you saw in Steve Kerr's words, he is concerned because they are turnover. They turn the ball over, and they take shots. They're great shooters, so they take bad shots.
But they actually won the rebounding battle tonight and had more offensive rebounds.
But I'm saying they're giving up offensive rebounds. They're not playing an elite team, Ernie. They're playing the number 8 team. When they play against Memphis, Portland, next round, teams like that, when they go further, if they happen to meet DeAndre Jordan and Blake, that's why I think their flaws are really going to show. Like, New Orleans don't have a low, like Anthony Davis, he's a little light in the cakes. They push it, first of all, he's great now, but they push him off the box every single time.
There you go, talking about food again.
I was actually talking about his ass, man.
Whoa. Let's make the differentiation.
Thank you.
There.
They push. When he gets stronger, he's going to be ridiculous. But they push him off the box a lot. But when they play against Zach, Mark, LaMarcus, Robin Lopez, or Blake and DeAndre, that's why I think their flaws are really going to show down low. Listen, they're a terrific team. Don't get me wrong. But they don't put fear. Shaq asked me a question. They don't put fear in your heart because you know, like, that's the problem that I think they're going to have in the long run when they start playing the elite teams.
You know, I like the way New Orleans played. They came out, they played with a lot of intensity, a lot of heart, but late in the game, I think they showed their inexperience. Like, when the game was close, you can't come down and rush a shot. You know, you got to come in and get a shot, and, you know, especially when you're at the opposing arena. But they're young. They still played hard. They're not going to give up. They're not scared, like, you know, me and Chuck have already stated. So, if they can get one at Smoothie King Arena, then that will, you know, further their belief that they can win.
Let me ask you a question. You know, you talk about, Monty Williams talking about how loud it is, et cetera, et cetera. Can that sometimes have a negative impact on the home team, too? Do you think Golden State sometimes gets carried away a little bit with that, like in the first quarter and with the atmosphere?
That's been their game all year. They haven't changed the way they played.
But Steve Kerr said, I didn't even recognize you guys a couple of times.
Yeah, because, you know, they always, you know, sometimes but they go in, those shots go in. That's why he didn't recognize it, because those tough shots that he saw tonight, some of them didn't go in, or those crazy passes didn't connect. But they make some ridiculous highlight passes. The best team under the rim in basketball. But I agree with Chuck in this regard. Yeah, they could get punished, and they might not bring fear to, like, LaMarcus Aldridge and those guys, but I bet you there's fear in Damian Lillard, there's fear in Chris Paul, there's fear in everybody who's in the backcourt. They bring fear to the backcourt, because the difference with them, when you play against a guy who, like Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, they'll run a play, but they keep their dribble alive when most guards would have to pass. They would say, you go through the play, it's not there, okay, let me move it. They say, we're not going to move it, we're going to try to do it again. So that is the most unconventional defensive effort that by any 1 and 2 guard in the league. Chris Paul is the only guy who has that luxury to do that, to make a play off the pick and roll, it doesn't happen, come back and run it again. They do that every time.
Yeah.
That's fear.
And I'm going to disagree with Kenny, because I think the other way. If I'm Chris Paul, Mike Conley, Damian Lillard, I'm going at Steph Curry every single time because I'm not going to let him play just one end of the court. He is a great shooter. But you know one thing about great shooters?
I'm not, no, but
Hold on.
that's fair, though. That meaning, like, I'm doing something different. I'm not saying you're scared of him, but that makes you.
No, I mean, nobody's scared of anybody,
Right, exactly.
but I'm saying I'm not going to let Steph Curry, as great as he is, play on one end of the court. First of all, you see how Asik hit him that one time?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit him every single time. When he come out the tunnel for warm-ups, I'm going to knock the hell out of him. And every time we go down the court, we're going to run a pick and roll. And those jump shots going to fall in game 1. They might fall in game 2. But I'm looking forward to game 3, 4, and 5. And those guys are great shooters. But anytime I played against a little guy, I says, hey, you're a great player. I'm going to maul your ass.
Yeah,
and
but
we're gonna
you're a power
see.
forward. You ain't on that perimeter where the air is rare and it's a little thinner.
Yeah,
behind
the air's rare. Well, when I'm setting them picks on them, the air ain't going to be that rare. Because they're going to be sucking wind when I knock the wind out of their ass.
Golden State, number 1 in the NBA
3 asses.
in field goal percentage.
You like asses,
against,
aren't you?
and they hold New Orleans to 38% tonight. Here's Steve. I love Charles. I worked with him for 8 years. He's incredible at what he does. He's hilarious. He picks up every bar tab when you're on the road. 28 people from TNT at the bar, and he picks up the tab. He bought me so many beers over the years that whatever Charles wants to say about our team, I have no problem with.
Steve knows that I love him and his team. I'm just a inside, outside guy.
Yeah, you're inside, outside.
And the thing that annoys me about certain people, Ernie, I've said the same thing for 16 years.
Yeah, you have.
And all of a sudden now, like, you don't like the Atlanta Hawks. You don't like the Golden State Warriors. I don't care who wins these games. You know what I really want to do? I want to go play golf and fish every day.
Well, you can't play golf, so
Well, I'll fish you.
you are a fish, big Shamu
We'll
looking.
outfish him.
Okay, anybody
well,
outfit.
that would
But
be
let me
an
just tell you
entertaining
this.
contest.
Steve, I got number of respect for him and the Golden State organization. They're a good organization. I'm a power guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a power guy.
Yeah,
that's okay.
it. That's nothing
Like,
personal.
It's nothing personal, but doesn't mean that way can't win.
I didn't say it can't, and it might do it.
It might do it. They used to do Chris Webber in Atlanta.
Wait, what?
Got some nice
It
cakes,
was
Kitty.
left over. It was left over from another.
Duncan Hines, ding
If
dongs.
you were looking for some Eastern
Krispy
Conference
Kreme.
playoff intensity on Monday night, Chicago was your spot. The 6th-seeded Bucks, a heavy underdog against a Bulls team with championship hopes. Chicago had taken game 1 by 12, but Milwaukee showed right from the jump that they were going to battle tonight in game 2 at the United Center in Chicago. Tell me, we heard those kind of previews of those 3 games, so tell me what is the most likely scenario tomorrow night? The Mavs tie things up with the Rockets, the Raps tie things up with the Wiz, or the Celtics tie things up with the Cavs? Most likely.
The only thing that won't happen is the Cavs losing.
Yeah.
The other two are very possible.
Which is more likely?
Toronto.
He didn't ask you.
Well, I'm talking. You ain't gonna do nothing about it.
I hit you, you big old fat
I'll say
lips.
Toronto as
Kenny.
well.
Toronto, evening things up at home.
I think Toronto's got the best chance, but they got to speed up the tempo of the game. The shot clock was on their back too much the other night. There was probably 10 to 15 possessions. They had just started their offense with 5 seconds to go. They've got to use that crowd to their advantage. But I think Toronto's got the best chance. Listen, Cleveland is going to kill Boston.
And you're going Raps.
Yeah, I'm going Raptors.
Okay, good.
I'm really looking forward to that Rockets-Mavericks.
You hear that music?
Yeah.
That means it's time to wrap up with you.
We're going to
Oh, y'all saw it, America.
when we come back.
Y'all saw it, America.
Shaq and a fool, as if this hasn't been enough. Hey, just when I thought that we had seen all of the Shaq and the Fools from the regular season,
Haven't we?
lo and behold, I got an email, and Shaq has a shot sheet here of 5 more from the regular season.
From the regular season.
It feels like such an
we
added.
missed.
Feels like such an added
Surprise,
bonus.
Man. Wow.
It is a bonus, Ernie. I can't believe all this stupid stuff be happening.
I know this is true. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I need that music.
That's a wrap for Inside the NBA, presented by Kia. For Shaq, for Kenny, for Charles, Ernie Johnson. Another
Oh,
doubleheader
Manny.
coming your way on Tuesday night here on TNT. Thanks to the Globies.
Nobody's ever wore a General jersey. That's hot, though. That's a hot commodity.
That action, man.
That's real.
Like that.
I do like that.
Give it up.
You didn't win a title, well, the Generals didn't win one.